I've been waiting my whole life for this one. Orthopedic surgeon and husband for The View host Sunny Hostin has been named in a federal lawsuit alleging insurance fraud. She got on television. She got these women tell me why her husband is named in a lawsuit in insurance fraud. And I'm gonna show you exhibit. Let me say exhibit B. Can you show this to the jury?
Imagine building your entire public image on moral authority, then watching it all teeter when your spouse is accused of orchestrating one of New York's largest criminal fraud rings. That's exactly where daytime TV star Sunny Hostin finds herself. In late December, American Transit Insurance filed a federal RICO, racketeer-influenced and corrupt organizations.
Yeah, you're married. Tom, you're married. Your husband's doing something, if he's allegedly doing something like this, you guys would know if your wives were up to some nefarious stuff. Let's just not forget who she is. She's been, for years, lecturing America about morality, inequality, systemic failures, and look at her track record. How many times does she have to go on in the past 2 months and look at the camera and do a legal apology for all the stuff that she said on the show? And then she also, on Trump's win, calling the loss because of uneducated white women that Trump won.
We have to know that. This is accused.
All accused. Yeah, all accused, but he's in the RICO. This is a big RICO case that her husband's in there.
Lawsuit seeking a staggering $450 million, naming nearly 200 defendants, including Dr. Emmanuel Hostin, Sunny's husband, and a respected orthopedic surgeon. Now, as headlines scream RICO suit and kickbacks for unnecessary surgeries, viewers are left wondering, can Sunny's brand survive this legal avalanche? Stick around, because the twists are only getting started.
Orthopedic surgeon and husband of The View co-host Sunny Hostin is accused in December lawsuit fraudulently billing insurance. By the way, this is a Daily Caller story I'm reading. The lawsuit alleges Hostin knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other healthcare services in exchange for kickbacks and or compensation, and names him among nearly 200 defendants in one of New York's largest RICO cases. Wow. Hostin's attorney Daniel Twites denies the allegations, calling the lawsuit a meritless attempt by a near-bankrupt insurance carrier to intimidate doctors and restrict healthcare benefits. The case involves claims that Hostin performs unnecessary surgeries on patients after minor accidents without exploring less invasive treatments, with American Transit citing New York's 1974 no-fault law as contributing to widespread insurance fraud.
In late December, American Transit Insurance launched what it calls one of the largest racketeering cases ever filed in New York, targeting physicians, clinics, and hospitals. At the center is Dr. Emmanuel Hostin, an expert in arthroscopic surgery known for treating sports injuries and auto accident trauma.
The View co-host Sunny Hostin's husband, Emmanuel Hostin, has been accused of federal insurance fraud. According to a new lawsuit obtained by Page Six, the orthopedic surgeon was one of 200 defendants named in one of the biggest racketeer-influenced and corrupt organization cases ever filed in New York. Emmanuel was accused of federal insurance fraud and, quote, getting kickbacks by performing surgery and billing a company that insured taxi companies and Uber and Lyft drivers. According to the documents, he knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other healthcare services, including arthroscopic surgeries.
Prosecutors allege he submitted false claims for procedures that were never needed, billing insurers for knee scopes or shoulder repairs on taxi and rideshare drivers with minor bumps. The insurer seeks $450 million in damages, accusing him of receiving kickbacks through third-party entities. One legal analyst called it a surgical assembly line of fraud. For Sunny, the shock isn't just professional, it's deeply personal.
You always say it's always the people that always do the pointing, and it always comes back to them, all right? So when you said this is the largest RICO case ever filed in the state of New York, you guys wrap that around your brain. That's bigger than the mafia case. Like the mafia one was number one. This one takes it over. So he was scamming insurance companies from taxi drivers, Uber drivers, and Lyft drivers. He was performing unnecessary surgeries and then providing fraudulent medical services in exchange for the kickbacks.
But how exactly did this alleged medical racket operate behind closed doors? According to court documents, investigators uncovered a pattern. drivers reporting minor aches were steered toward Dr. Emmanuel Hostin's practice. Instead of exploring physical therapy or conservative treatments, paperwork shows knee and shoulder scopes, often billed at tens of thousands of dollars per surgery. A whistleblower described patients barely awake, yet charged full surgical rates. Court filings allege emails promising guaranteed referrals, and a whistleblower text message described the practice as like slicing cash out of clients, not cartilage. If proven, this blueprint could expose a web of corruption stretching far beyond a single surgeon's office. While the legal battle unfolds, Sunny's world is rocked by the contrast between her on-air persona and this unfolding scandal. Sunny Hostin rose to fame by championing social justice and calling out hypocrisy.
Guys, this is why we need to seriously have a long, lengthy conversation about healthcare in the United States of America. This is basically it. So Sunny Hostin's husband was basically charged with insurance fraud. What he was doing was doing like fraudulent surgeries and then overcharging the insurance companies for him. This is what this is. So now, of course, he's now being named along with about 200 other individuals in a federal RICO charge case, guys.
Once labeling our healthcare system broken and urging accountability at every turn. Now, she faces an irony so rich it feels scripted. Her husband allegedly exploiting the very system she condemns. Since the lawsuit dropped, Sunny has offered only a brief statement. Emmanuel and I are confident the truth will prevail before returning to her panel of politicians and commentators. Off-camera insiders say she's in crisis mode, juggling private attorneys, consulting crisis management teams, and preparing for media spin. How do you maintain credibility when your spouse stands accused of running a surgical crime syndicate? To understand the stakes, let's break down what RICO really means and why insurers are wielding it so aggressively. RICO was born to dismantle organized crime families, requiring proof of a pattern of racketeering activity, multiple acts, each punishable, linked by an enterprise. In Dr. Hostin's case, federal prosecutors point to dozens of suspicious claims spanning years. Medical forms, electronic filings, mailing labels, all treated as evidence of racketeering. Past cases have nailed mafia bosses. Now, insurers apply the same playbook to doctors.
I've been waiting my whole life for this one. Orthopedic surgeon and husband for The View host Sunny Hostin has been named in a federal lawsuit alleging insurance fraud. She got on television. She run these women. Tell me why her husband is named in a lawsuit in insurance fraud. And I'm gonna show you exhibit. Let me say exhibit B. Can you show this to the jury? Roll it, Nick.
You know, doctors suffer because of big corporations as well. Doctors that want to do good, like my husband.
Traditional malpractice suits couldn't recoup the scale of alleged fraud. RICO allows treble damages, tripling the award, and civil asset forfeiture. At $450 million, this suit dwarfs even 1980s mob prosecutions, signaling a new era of white-collar enforcement in healthcare. Meanwhile, The View faces an editorial dilemma: how to cover this in-house scandal without alienating its audience. The View built an audience on no-holds-barred commentary. But when your co-host spouse makes front-page news for alleged fraud, editorial meetings get tense. Behind the scenes, producers debate: ignore the story, tackle it head-on, or let a competitor break the scoop. Ratings researchers warn mishandling could erode trust. Some viewers may applaud transparency. Others might see any mention as betrayal.
Last week, we learned that Sunny's husband, Dr. Emmanuel Hostin, was named in a lawsuit filed by American Transit Insurance Company. He's one of 200 people named in this lawsuit, and they are accusing him of filing fraudulent insurance claims and also getting kickbacks from them. And it's a very serious crime. In fact, it's one of the largest, if not the largest, RICO case in New York's history. And they're seeking $450 million. And Sunny and her husband, they are fighting back. They've hired legal eagle Mark Garagos to help them fight this case. And they're claiming that this is completely baseless.
Insider whispers suggest co-hosts exchange uncomfortable glances as Sunny deflects questions. One executive summed it up. It's like asking someone to roast their best friend live on air. As the network weighs its options, every episode now carries a hint of suspense. But this isn't just a celebrity scandal. It underscores systemic issues fueling such schemes. Healthcare fraud isn't unique to Dr. Emmanuel Hostin. New York's 1974 no-fault auto insurance laws inadvertently created fertile ground for abuse. Patients can claim medical benefits regardless of fault, but insurers often struggle to verify treatment necessity. That gray zone gives bad actors cover to bill generously. And let's not pretend insurers are innocent. They routinely deny legitimate claims, hike premiums, and bury patients in red tape. The real casualties? Everyday people, drivers who skip treatment for fear of audits, or policyholders paying higher rates due to fraudulent payouts.
Anna went in a different direction. But I love the fact that, Manny is younger and he's
How much younger is he?
Just a little bit.
He's like 1 year, isn't he? Like a month or a year or 10 years?
5 years. It's more than a year.
Oh.
Anyway, it's not about me. I think.
Oh, no.
I think that it's very helpful that he's handy, and when we travel, I'm not picking up any bags. He's the one that's hefting them overhead. He
Exactly.
throws the garbage out.
Right.
He does the heavy stuff.
If this RICO suit prevails, it could spur reforms, stricter auditing, transparent pricing, and potentially limits on no-fault benefits. Back in court, both sides are gearing up for a trial that could redefine healthcare litigation. Sunny Hostin's defense team, led by veteran attorney Mark Garagos, already filed a motion to dismiss, labeling the suit a desperate ploy by a failing insurer. They argue American Transit cannot prove Dr. Hostin personally orchestrated fraud at that scale. But discovery could bring surprises. Some legal analysts warn co-defendants may seek plea deals that implicate others. Reports suggest the next hearing could occur in mid-May, with initial witness testimony possibly following in the summer months. With nearly 200 parties involved, any one guilty plea could trigger domino effect revelations. If you thought it was dramatic so far, brace for the fireworks. All of this raises a final question. Can Sunny Hostin's career survive this epic scandal?
Giuliani shook the tree and a bunch of mobsters fell out, right? This is big stuff. And so, and thank you for bringing that video. It sure is ironic that she's up there. So, but if she didn't really know what was going on, right, which is what she's probably going to say later, I had no idea what my husband and his associates were doing. We'll wait and see what that is. But I think it's pretty freaking ironic.
Yeah. I have a totally different perspective on this. I don't really know what happened with this. The facts will come out. What I have a problem with is the core of who this woman is. Unlike you, I don't watch The View, bro. All I do is see clips. I know you do.
It's like twice a day.
Here's all I hear from her. America's violent, America's racist, America's bad. Okay. I challenge you, Sunny, and this is Constantine Kissin actually was saying something about this. Find me a country that's not racist.
A daytime TV moralist, ensnared by a real-life criminal saga. A skilled surgeon accused of treating insurers better than patients. We've dissected the allegations, the legal framework, and the systemic rot that allowed it. Now we wait. Will justice deliver a swift verdict, or will the case drag on for years? Bleeding headlines dry? One thing's certain, every twist will play out live on our screens. The drama's just getting started. Hidden court confessions, last-minute plea bargains, and shocking footage could drop any moment. Tap that like, hit subscribe, and stay locked in. This is Sasha Spills signing off. I'll see you in the next video.